Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. This is the Legislative Power Part 2. And yeah, again, remote learning. If you click on here, it has the lessons kind of in order. It kind of, and now I'm making sure I post like when I assign something and when it's due. But that's all in the Google Docs. If you don't need to come here, you don't have to. But again, you can see the videos here for the lessons too. Um, I'm getting some people saying that they're having trouble like seeing some of the things. I have a feeling that people are doing some of this stuff on their phones. These social studies lessons really probably shouldn't be done on the phone. They should be done on a laptop or a computer or something, because the videos are designed to be showing you stuff, and the slideshow that I make is designed for that too. The bill to the law, I have to tell you, I was really impressed with. Most people did really well on it. Some had some trouble, but for the most part, like I'm telling you, that's such an assignment that I give every year, and it's a homework assignment. And I had given it to you guys, but we didn't. That's when this pandemic thing happened, and I got better answers than I've seen in years. Like good answers. So keep up that good work. Again, this isn't about busy work or giving you something to do so you're out of your parents' hair. It certainly does not. That's not why I'm doing this. Um, and I'm working hard to get you guys ready for high school. And I don't want you to be behind last year's class when they went to the high school, or the year before, or the year before. You've got to kind of own your education more than my other students did. You know, you've got to be responsible with time and all that stuff. Again, like I said to you, I think there's going to be some good that comes out of this. There's some strength that you're all going to have that no other group of kids in the United States has ever had. Um, wherever there's darkness, there's light. Yeah. Anyway, so where last we left off, this is not going to be as long. I have my timer going, so I don't talk too much. We did this bill to the law. Again, the word bill, even though I'm just a bill, is a fun thing on Twillos Rocks. That's the next lesson. It's a great name. It's not really a name. It's just what we call something before it becomes a law, and it has to do with back in the day they called copies bills, handbills. But so that's it. We're going to go into a little bit more of that with this. This is, I had you do, I haven't even looked at those yet, and I think I extended the due date on that. And that's because it's not going to be hard for me to grade. It's just, it's all multiple choice. It's a button. I don't have to read anything. The I had to go through the Article 1, Section 8, and all the powers that Congress has. And the 18th one is the controversial one. It's the elastic clause. And some people think that this is something that gives Congress too much power and that they could abuse it. And others say it's the only reason why the United States Constitution is as old as it is. Because to say necessary or proper, my awesome pointer, the one good thing about this program. Necessary and proper. I mean, what's necessary and proper to you may not be necessary and proper to somebody else, so that's open for interpretation, which always brings in the courts if it gets controversial. This is one of my favorite political cartoons. Not my favorite. My favorite is definitely the boat one. That's the one that, the crisis, and we're slipping into anarchy. We needed a constitution that was better, which is what we're studying now. But this cartoon is really good, and I wanted you to do it, so it's part of this assignment. I took the cartoon, I took the reading from the cartoon, so you have to read it. It explains why the writer wrote the cartoon, and then I have the questions, and I'm going to turn into like multiple choice. So you are going to do that cartoon, but it's going to be part of this. You'll see it. So when you get to that, that's the end of this assignment, second to last thing. And when you get to that, you will look at the cartoon, read the couple paragraphs, and answer like 5 questions. I don't remember the amount of questions off the top of my head, but that's what this is. All right, so let's look at a couple of things that I want to go through with you today, and I should be able to get through it pretty quick. The committees. A lot of you hit that nail on the head with the bill to the law thing. That's where most bills die. Most never make it past the committee, and the committees they're the experts in that field. Like if I was to get elected to Congress, they would want to put me into a committee that I'd have a clue on. Like I'd probably be on the education committee, and I'm a history geek. I might be in foreign relations. You can be on more than one committee, and just don't want to aggravate the Speaker of the House too much because she decides where you go, you know. And a lot of people want to be on the more powerful committees, and most politicians are like lawyers and stuff. They want to be on these powerful committees, but all the committees are important, and they all have something to do with, a specific thing. So if a bill comes in and it has to do with education, the education committee, it's assigned to the education committee, and the education committee does all that. And you guys hit the nail on the head with that. Almost everyone said it so well that the subcommittees, why do they have subcommittees? Because they're going to do all the research. They're going to hold hearings. They're going to do that. We'll do that in the next lesson. I'm going to do a bill to the law with you and go into detail about what those hearings look like and what the research looks like. And I know it's going to be hard to sleep for the next few days till the next lesson comes out, bill to the law. But yeah, it's exciting. It's all exciting. Remember, the session is really a 2-year thing. We're in the 116th Congress. There'll be an election in November, and in January they'll swear in the 117th Congress. Right. So this Congress is about to end in December, really, and they see over 10,000 bills, but most of those bills die in committee. The committee rooms used to all be in the Capitol building, but like I said to you before, a lot of the committee rooms have migrated into those office buildings, and it gives them a lot more space, and it's near their offices and stuff. Experts in each field. They recommended the floor. I keep using the word floor. I don't want to confuse anybody. It's not like the floor, like not that floor. I hope I didn't upset Miss Simmons. I don't think she can hear me. She's like 3 towns over. Anyway, the floor is to recommend it to the full house, where the school board is and stuff, or the full Senate where the desks are. That's what they do, right? So on this assignment, I'm going to have you go on these websites that have the different. And I do this in class when I do it in class in the notebook, but I really can't, So here's the House committees. A lot of people had this wrong on that. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's just a number, and a lot of the numbers were off. I don't know why. These joint committees are confusing. Joint committees are committees that are special committees that have senators and representatives on them. So I think some people counted those and people didn't, and so it's not a big deal. It doesn't make or break you on that. But here's all the committees. So what I want you to do is to click on a committee that would interest you, and it's going to ask you for like 3 things. And so let's say education and labor. So in the House, the Education Committee, this is it. And I want you to figure out who is the chairperson of that committee and one thing they're working on. So you're going to have to search the website a little bit. But you only have to do one committee. If you want to do more, if you want to fiddle around and look because you're curious and you're an intellect and you're politically motivated, by all means, look at the other committees. But you don't have to. So click on one that you're interested in, and you're going to have to tell me who the chairperson is of that committee. So in the House of Representatives, it's controlled by Democrats, so it's definitely be a Democrat that's chairperson. That's how it works. Nancy Pelosi picks the people, and she puts the chairs. So in the Senate, and let's go to the Senate. So if you go to the Senate, there's that. In the Senate, this is the committees in the Senate. There's less committees in the Senate. Maybe I miscounted, because I didn't see these joints. I don't know. It's not important. But in the Senate, there's fewer, and the committees are smaller. The committees in the House of Representatives, sometimes there's 50, 60 people on the committee, and that's why the subcommittees are really, really important too. So again, you can do the same thing. You're going to pick one that you're interested in. I'll pick education again. You're going to say who the chairperson is. In the Senate, it's always going to be Republican. And it's gonna also gonna pick out an issue that they're working on, right? So, Shark Tank test, a live hearing. This is a live hearing. I don't know what it's about. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, Dr. Disbro,
So this is like weird, because they're having these committee meetings by like Zoom meetings, or whatever. So that's weird. I know that the Senate is doing that better than the House is, and there's some controversy about Nancy Pelosi getting the House running in virtual world like the Senate is. So again, you're going to find out who the chairperson is. You're going to find out who it's going to be. It's going to be a Republican because Mitch McConnell basically appoints the chair people in the Senate. He's the Senate leader. All right. So, and you're going to pick out an issue. It's going to ask you this. It's going to have the website's links. So, why is this all here? I don't know. Now I'm getting confused. All right, I got it because I opened up a new window. All right, good. So that's just to get your hands in there and to see what these committees look like. And that's where 90% of the work that our congressmen, that our senators and congressmen that we elect, that's where they earn their money. They do some hard work. And I'll get into it more when I go into to the next lesson with the bill to the law. This is just like a diagram that I've always loved. I don't know what year it comes from, so it's 102nd Congress, so it's not our Congress. We're in the 116th, but it shows like a lot of bills get introduced, and most of them come from the executive branch, and that only makes sense because the executive branch is the government. It is the Department of Education. If they want to change a rule in education, they have to make a bill. They have to get a sponsor. They have to get a Republican or a Democrat and a politician to sponsor it in the legislature. But most of the ideas for bills are from the executive branch because it's the Department of Agriculture. It's the Department of Defense. It's it makes sense. It's not like Donald Trump is sitting there writing 10,000 bills and he's got all these ideas. It's the entire government that he runs. So, but anyone can write a bill. We'll get into that. So the bills introduced referred to a committee, and this kind of like shows how they die off, and eventually only a few become law. This chart is like a Google chart that I've always liked and I've always used because it basically it's a Gov tracker. It's what's going on now, and it shows each of these Congresses. The 116th Congress so far have seen 12,173 bills. And out of all of those, only 140 have become law. That's pretty low, and they've only got until really the end of December. It's lower than some past years, and most of these are about the coronavirus, are those emergency things. Again, it has to pass both chambers, and then it has to get signed by the president. The president vetoed 6, so. And they didn't get overridden. So, so the president doesn't really veto as much as you would think they do. But if you look in past years, 2-year spans, remember each of these, it's pretty much we're on par for seeing, a little over 10,000 to 15,000 pieces of legislation, and we usually have a little bit more pass. There's not a lot passing, but it's not a spectacular number. It's like 5%, 3%, 2% that actually become laws. I just wanted to show you that so that you could see that that's what they do. And this diagram does a nice job of kind of showing you how it funnels. You have a ton of bills and very few really become law. Remember, laws are not like amendments to the Constitution. They're not like the Constitution. Everyone calls the Constitution the law of the land, but the Constitution is how government runs. It's not a law, and so laws are usually have expiration dates. So a lot of these, if we only passed 140 bills this year, some of them are things that were going to expire if they didn't pass them. So they kind of had to redo them. They have to re-up them. Laws are not carved in stone. They have expiration dates like eggs and milk, and you can't freeze them. So Yeah. Good. I'm doing well on time. I'm kind of happy right now. This is where we're going next. The bill to the law. I usually draw this on the backboard, and I'm so happy that I was able to actually find a picture of it. And I'll explain these steps. This is the steps that assignment that I gave you, bill to the law, kind of had. You know, the idea of anybody can come up with the idea for a law. Subcommittee does the research. They have hearings. The rules committee puts it on the calendar. Full house. Then it goes to the Senate hearings. They don't have a rules committee. They just put it in the order that it comes out of committee. Full Senate, no time limit. Then conference committee if you need it. You guys did a good job with the conference committee too. So it just like in years past, I think because they had it in paper, they didn't do it as seriously. Maybe I don't know. And then once the conference committee clears the thing, it goes to the president. The president can sign it, veto it, pocket veto it, or pocket pass it, which is 10 days go by, and if Congress is in session or not. That's the next lesson. I have like a bonus thing on this one, and I don't know how it's going to work out. And I didn't put it on here, so I have to do all this stuff for you in front of you, which I don't really want to do, but that's okay. I saw Ken Burns lecture. It was so awesome. So you're gonna be able to go to this if you want to. You have to have a flash player on your computer in order for it to work. And it's not a big deal if it doesn't work, because I want you to do this, if you want to. It'll be bonus. So bonus will add points overall to what you're earning, and maybe fix an assignment that you didn't do or something, or you didn't do well on. But it's a game, and you kind of click on here. It's got a wonderful theme music. It's not required, but it's bonus. And then it tells you how to play it, and you play it, and you got to pick a character for you. I'm sure it looks like you. Pick it under your house or Senate. Say who you are. Bob just sounds a little bit more like a candidate. Democrat, Republican. Let's make him a Republican. You can pick it, whatever you want. It just kind of tells you what you kind of believe in. And then what's the most important thing to you? Cooperation. Right? Then I confirm it makes this character. Pick your state. You can pick Massachusetts. You can pick anywhere you want. You can pick Massachusetts. Our districts, you don't have to if you don't want to. Right? There it is, Representative Kelly. Confirm. And then it puts you into the office, and it starts throwing you some ideas. And you just can read them, and whichever one you want to pick, and you go back, and you pick it, and then you got to try to get it passed. And the way you get it passed, it explains, is by letting people add amendments and trying to get a majority. And then you have to go work in the Senate. And it's pretty good. A little annoying, but pretty good. I like it. Yeah. So that's a bonus thing at the end, right? So that's pretty much it. I hope things are going well. The weather's starting to warm up. Mother's Day is Sunday, and yeah, you're not. I think I'm posting this tomorrow, so I think I'm posting it Friday. Keep on doing the good work that you're doing. A lot of you are doing really good work on these things, and that's important. And it's not important because it's bragging rights. It's important because you're going to go into that high school, at least having this civics background, and that's a good thing for me. I care. Stay safe, and I'm going to end this way, right? This is when you bolt for the door. Make sure you write in your agenda every day. And don't be afraid to contact me if you're having trouble within the assignment, or in general. You have questions about things, how they graded, how much you enjoyed my videos, whatever. All right. Have a good one. Stay out of